Hi, my name is Will Nunziata, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud FENIX Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with the acclaimed guitarist, the one, the only, Pat Riley. For more on Pat, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the amazing talent of Pat Riley. Well, hello, Pat. How are you?
Great, Will. How are you?
I'm doing great and doing much better now that I'm speaking with you. And I'm so excited that the audience just got a sneak peek of your incredible talent with your song, Between Two Worlds. And Pat, I want to know, where did you grow up and when did you realize that you had this affinity for the guitar?
I grew up in Queens. Belrose was the neighborhood originally. Um, I don't know. Guitar was just something I took an interest around 16 years old. My cousin had gotten one, and then I had gotten into alternative and metal music at the time, and just realizing the guitar was the instrument that was creating these sounds that I became obsessed with was kind of what got me into it. And that was it. I was obsessed since day one.
I love it. Were there any bands or artists in particular growing up that you were obsessed with?
Yeah, that was Metallica. Like probably many other people would say, Metallica was a huge influence on me growing up. Grunge, some band like Alice in Chains. I even listened to a lot of Green Day, like when I was even a little before playing guitar. So I remember practicing some Green Day songs in the beginning because they were easier than the Metallica songs, so they got me into it. But yeah, I'm a big metal guy, like Pantera, Megadeth, Metallica, these bands. But I also have a very wide range of music that I like: classic rock, um, synthwave stuff, Depeche Mode, and all that old 80s stuff is great. So lots of stuff.
Well, it's like you were reading my questions in front of me because my next question was going to be, it seems like you have an interest in multiple disciplines and genres of music, as seen through your songs, especially the one that people just heard, Between Two Worlds. I want to know how that song came about for you.
It's interesting. Ironically, it's probably the most straightforward song on the record. It was written probably the quickest out of all of them, and it just kind of came to me, and it flowed from beginning to end effortlessly. So it was almost like it wasn't even me. It was just something channeled through me. I don't know how to explain it. And the title came from kind of the feeling that I was trying to give, or that I felt as the song is playing, where you're kind of in between reality and a sleep state of just hypnosis or something like that. So that's kind of how it came to be. The title came from the vibe that I felt and that I was trying to put out. And then the song came just kind of quickly. I didn't plan it, and it just happened in the moment.
I love that. Well, and speaking with a lot of artists, I love when I hear that it's kind of like this flow that they're in. It's kind of like you're almost in tune as a vessel to some higher power, and you're just kind
Yeah.
of just the channel that lets it out. And that's so cool that for that song in particular, you were feeling that. I mean, I also felt this kind of like, dare I say, and again, as a listener, we all have our own, thoughts and feelings on great art like yours. But I was feeling also like I was in this kind of like limbo, like this kind of purgatory, like kind of like state between, it's like REM cycle, but it was also otherworldly. So it's so cool to describe from you what you were feeling when you were putting it together, that I was also kind of feeling something a little different, but also something similar.
Yeah, that's the point. Music is very subjective. So one person feels totally different than the other, but I think there's some medium ground that we all kind of feel.
Definitely, there's a universality. I mean, I love that music is a universal language. It's but whatever the genre is, and I'm curious, Pat. During this time, obviously it was tough on all humans, but especially artists. And I'm curious to know what you did during this time in terms of your music. Did you find inspiration in the trauma and unfortunate circumstances we all found ourselves in to create at all?
So what happened with me was obviously like there was a lot of things that got messed up. There was tours that I was supposed to go on and shows I was supposed to play that didn't get to happen. But somehow I managed to become busier as an artist. I was doing a lot of session work, guitar work for like multiple other artists. So I was really busy with that. So busy that I had very little time for my own personal creations, which is a blessing and a curse in a way. So be able to, financially to earn from my guitar playing was great, but to kind of be pulled away from my creative process was kind of a downer for me. So again, I'm not complaining, I'm grateful for it, but it's sometimes when I'm like, I'm writing, putting this love into someone else's music, and like that's me over there, and like, but it's not really my project. But when I write solos, I do it as if it is my own. So I'm giving a piece of myself away, never to get it back in a way. So it's like I said, it's bittersweet, it's a blessing and a curse, but I'm grateful anyway.
No, I mean, look at that. I mean, it's your gratitude, man, that I've been feeling from artists all over. Everyone's had to pivot in some way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to, let's forget, the business side of show business. It's, when live gigs are out, everyone's been scrambling to try to still make it work. And obviously you have. And as the world starts to open up, I'm curious to know what you're most excited about, in terms of just connecting with a live audience.
I love getting feedback from audiences. I love talking to people, fans, people that have an interest in whether it's, what got me into playing or how do I play something or advice. So I'm excited to be part of a large network that hopefully encourages interaction with artists and fans and friends or whatever. So that's exciting. I'm yet to really find a platform that does that perfectly. There's a lot of, let's say, a lot of different types of platforms that try to encourage that. So I'm looking forward to this one.
Oh, that's amazing. And, look we all are, because already for me as a director, just so that before even the hard launch of FENIX next month, I've been able to interview over 350 artists from around the globe. And just to hear all of their stories, similar to yours, it's really encouraging that this is going to be a platform, and already is a platform, where it's kind of like a safe space of artists from all over just to be able to connect. And obviously in the end also, make more money off their art, and not not dealing with the middleman, whether it be record labels or, banks in terms of this whole cryptocurrency. And I'm curious to know, like, in moving forward after this time, I'm curious to know what you're most excited about in terms of the potential collaborations with other artists, not only in the States, but around the world.
Well, it's exciting because especially in this day and age, technology has allowed us the abilities to write and collaborate with people that are thousands of miles away. I've already done that, on a personal level. So to have a platform that makes it even easier or more, within reach is great, because I have aspirations of music, and it's hard for me to find exactly what I'm looking for sometimes, more than sometimes. I would be, I would probably be in a band. I'm in a few bands, but I would have one that I would fixate on if I could just find the perfect group that all had a cohesive vision and shared a chemistry that was like so powerful, like, because that's really hard to find. And the best bands have a chemistry that is inseparable. And that's what I'm looking for. And I'm hoping that this platform can bring me closer to that.
Amen, Pat. Well, I definitely think that it's going to happen for you. You have such a good vibe about you. You live in gratitude. You also happen to be an amazingly talented musician and artist, obviously. But before I let you go, I just want to let the audience know, for more on the amazing Pat Riley, you can read more about him right below this video. Pat, thank you so much for your time today.
My pleasure. Well, thank you for having me.